Realized that writing is pretty much the foundation of everything. And personally for me, writing has become the jab of like my daily habits. It's pretty much been a thing that I've established my whole routine and life about. Journaling for me personally and just the whole writing craze came about in 2018 when I first decided I wanted to be a martial arts philosopher. Now back then, it wasn't really for like any monetary value or any type of gain. It was more so just like I want to be able to write down my ideas and thoughts that have bettered my life from martial arts, as well as track different fitness goals, and then eventually came to tracking business goals. What I didn't realize is that over time, journaling within itself elevated my life in so many different ways and so many different magnitudes. And I've honestly accomplished a lot within these past 4 or 5 years of just journaling. I've honestly been able to turn something that was just a measly hobby into a means of monetizing and making some type of money for myself on the side just from it. And I've learned a lot, and it's been really impactful, and it's really been a very powerful asset within my whole arsenal of skill. So there's 4 things that I really want to mention and just express to you on the benefits of journaling and within these past few years that I've learned. So I'm going to extend those to you because I truly believe if you was to start right now today, that you'll see tremendous growth in different aspects of your life when it comes to journaling too. I wrote it all down in my notes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into lesson 1, which is a great way of tracking your progress. I don't care if it's like your daily habits, fitness, eating habits, mental health, personal projects. Writing down your progress as you experience new things can help you build a database that you can go back and see your growth over time. My biggest thing that I wanted to journal back when I first started, was mental growth and my physical growth, my body. I've always wrote down my physique updates in my body. I write down my weight, what my body looking like, how I'm feeling with training. I'll also expand on different training concepts and ideas. I'll expand on different type of how I'm adjusting my diet and how I'm adjusting my calories to either gain weight or lose weight. Fitness is one of my biggest things that I probably track the most when it comes to journaling, because I'm essentially obsessed with fitness. I'm obsessed with my body. I'm obsessed with just evolving myself on the physical spectrum. And journaling for that reason was very crucial for me, because now I have a database where I can always go back. I can see what old workouts I used to do back then. And honestly, I go back to a lot of my old workouts because that's the stuff that worked. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't know what worked if I didn't track what I was doing. And I can also go back to different states of my mental. Like I can go back to where my mindset was at 18 years old, and I can look at my philosophies and I can see how those philosophies evolved as I evolved over time. I can see how that one type of mindset I used to have, I've outgrown. You know what I'm saying? I can see maturity take place in different stages because I can go back all the way to June of 2018 when I first started writing and look at how I grew over time. So for you, if you, let's just say you want to get a better grip on your eating habits, then you might want to try getting a food journal. You might want to have your journal, and every day, you know what I'm saying, you just write down what you ate that day and what time you ate. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to get fancy, you might even count the calories that was in it. And next thing you know, over the course of 3 months to 6 months, you got all this data of how you eating. So whenever you gaining weight or losing weight, you can just go back and look like, okay, well shoot, when I was eating this, I was way lighter back then. But when I was eating like this, I gained more weight. So I know that I'm trying to lose weight right now. So I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna go back and take some of the peas of the pot from this lane when I was eating like this, because you got that data. On to my second lesson, which having that data and progress really helps in, is that now it helps it easier for goals to come true, because goals come true when you write them down. I don't know what the phenomenon really is about it. I was supposed to insert a study right here, but I'm gonna be 1,000. I forgot to do it before I went to bed. So while I'm editing, I'm gonna insert a study of how effective it is when people write down their goals compared to people that don't. I've seen the study, I just don't got that reference. So I'm gonna put it right here. You see that? So yeah, boom. That whatever that said, that's what that said. But this is what I said. Every time I wrote down a goal, it has came true. Sometimes they don't be exactly how I may have wanted it to be, but I still got it by any means. So when you write down a goal, in my mind, it serves as like a commitment. And then when you take different actions you have, and when you take different steps every single day towards that written commitment, it's like you're honoring that commitment as well. And the more you honor that commitment, the more likely that goal is to become true. So like, I have a tendency when I write down a goal, it ain't just one time. I'm gonna write it down in my notebook, then I'm gonna talk about it for days and weeks on end on how I'm trying to get to this goal. And then I'll post it up on my command wall, my battle wall. And I'll show y'all that one day. I'll post it up there so I can see it on a regular basis. Then I'll type it in my notes in my phone on a regular basis. Then I'll talk to it on people. Every single day I'm finding a way to commit to that written down goal. And it's like the moment you write it down and put it on paper, you can't forget it. In my mind, you can't forget it. It's out there. It's out there in the world. Damn, Marley. My cat on some shit this morning. And the more actions you take each day to honor that goal and commit to that goal, it's gonna come true. I feel like it's never gonna come true if you don't write it down. If you don't write it down, then you're bullshitting, in my opinion. If you ain't writing it down, then you must ain't too serious about it. You still playing with the idea, you know, you still just, I don't know if I'm gonna do right here, I don't go on this, and you're all on that willy flu flam. We ain't doing none of that. You either do it or you won't, or you don't. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. And if it's something you really, really want, start by writing it down first, because that's the first step. And once you write it down, I promise you, you're gonna start taking the next steps you need to get there. Real quick, before we continue on going, if you've been enjoying this video so far, the only thing I ask for you is to leave a like, comment, and hit subscribe. I really appreciate that. And if you want to gain more value beyond this channel, you can subscribe to the newsletter down below. I'll leave a link, and maybe even check us out on Spotify if you like to do that. But let's continue. So my next one is that writing has become a profitable skill. So check this out. When you look at social media, when you look at content, when you look at the pace of what the world going, the foundation of all media is writing. A good script, a good newsletter, a good sales pitch, a good YouTube video, a good Twitter post, a good anything starts off with writing. It starts off with some type of script. So when you can learn how to master a few elements of writing, and I say storytelling, persuasive writing, and impactful / value writing. When you can master those 3 styles of writing, you're now putting yourself into a position where you can build a high profitable skill set, where you can become a freelancer for means of like being a ghostwriter. You can start a newsletter business, email marketer, author, commercial script writer, anything that forms and that goes into the form of writing, you can excel in. Because again, the common medium across all platforms is writing. Writing for me literally started off as a hobby. And honestly, when I look back, I've always been complimented on my writing since middle school. But to me, I've never seen writing as something that was going to take me anywhere. I'm going to be 1,000. Like, if you would have told me that I would have been an author, I would have been like, you crazy. I never would have thought I would have wrote my own book just from journaling stuff down in my journal. Never would have thought that. But journaling has been a means for me to be not only able to write not 1, not 2, but 3 books. My 3rd book is coming out October 12th. It is called You in 6 Months. Focus on yourself and acquire the tools you need to upgrade your life. If you want to check out that book and actually get it for free the day it released, it will be free to all my newsletter subscribers on the day it released. So subscribe to my newsletter from the Roster Man if you want to get that book absolutely free. I'm telling you, you're gonna love that video. It's a lot of game in it. It's a lot of free game that's actually gonna elevate your life in 3 months and not just 6. And again, I was able to write this book from a skill set of writing. The fact that I was able to not only write not 1, 2, but 3 books. The fact that I even have a newsletter. The fact that I've been able to talk to people and go to public speaking events because of writing is honestly impressive as fuck to me. Never thought that just typing my fingers or moving a pen will actually give me some type of leverage and some type of means to do what I absolutely love doing, which is martial arts, fitness, and writing itself. Because I mean, I was writing before I even thought about getting paid for it, so that was something I enjoy doing. It's how I make sense of my world. It's how I make sense of my mind, because I also do struggle with anxiety and occasional depression sometimes. And writing has always been my outlet to handle my emotions and make sense of my world. So, and that goes on to my last and final lesson, is you can use writing as a means to make sense of yourself. You can use writing as a moment of solitude. Use writing as a medium to get back to yourself. There has been so many countless times where I just felt lost, and I just was clouded with judgment and emotions and different voices in my head. But the moment I started writing, it seems like all those things went away. It seems like I was able to gain so much clarity. It was like I was able to get so much relief. It was like writing took away so much emotional, internal tension within me. and it helps me understand myself better. It helps me understand my words better, and honestly, it helps me communicate my words better to other people, because I have a hard time sometimes speaking to folks on my emotions, but when I have the chance to write, it's easier to even get the words out. If I'm being honest, that's actually how y'all got these YouTube videos. If I was to just sit here and talk all day long, you know how long this video would be? It'll be long as fuck. I gotta write it down first to make sure I can articulate this shit to y'all perfectly. So again, as I told y'all, writing is the fucking essence of everything. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a comment down below. Give me some feedback. I want to grow this channel, and I can only grow this channel with the help from y'all. So please hit subscribe down below, leave a like, leave a comment on what you like most about this video. If you want to check out more, I got an array of videos that you can listen to and watch. Also, again, check us out on Spotify. We got the Rostery podcast up there. If you ain't checked out some of the videos and episodes before, we got them in audio version, so check those out as well. I'll leave a link down to my newsletter if you want to get the weekly updates on different advice on martial arts, fitness, and business. I'll leave that down below as well. But I've been your host, Rostery, and you've been watching the Rostery Morning Show on Rostery TV, and I'm